handkerchief.
What's wrong, Larry?
There. You fool, you might call that just some fingerprints off. Why? I'm just house proud, that's all. Oh, the glue up. Inspector, this is obviously the work of that sinister criminal, Lo Hing Hing. Let's try this door here. Ah, you say, excuse me. Inspector? Yes? This man is Chinese. How do you know? You can tell by his eyes. His eyes? Yes, didn't you hear the way he pronounced them? Well, don't worry, Inspector. I speak the language. All right, then Friday. And don't forget to starch the collars. Wait a minute, Mr. Secombe. This man is a murderer. Lo Hing, Ding. What? You'll hing for this, Lo Hing. You can't get away with this. I'll get you an assurance. Assurance I'm tied to this barrel of gunpowder. Oh, well, let's show us it for you. Secombe, look out. He's lighting a fuse. He's going to blow us up. What? Lo Hing, how long will this fuse take a burn? Tell me, man, quickly. How long? 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Thank heavens for that. And I've just the time. What for? For one solid dog. Longing, longing, longing for you. Longing, longing, lonely and low. Daytime, nighttime, what can I do? I just keep on longing for you. You said you would love me forever, and I put my faith in your heart. So why don't you make an endeavor to come and be with me right now? Longing, longing, longing for you. Longing, longing, lonely and low. Daytime, nighttime, what can I do? I just keep on longing for you. I just keep on longing for you. That was Harry Secombe. Yes. Yes, it's the Stargate. I never was loved by anyone else until I was loved by you. I never was loved by anyone else that I could prove it to. You gave me just one of your kisses, and that was when I knew that I never was loved by anyone else until I was loved by you. Oh, the Army and the Navy use their arms for victory. Like the Army and the Navy, you use your arms to come to me. That's why I never was loved by anyone else until I was loved by you. I never was loved by anyone else, and I can prove it too. You gave me a sample of loving, you thrilled me through and through. Oh, I never was loved by anyone else until I was loved by you.
Until I was loved by you.
I never was loved by anyone else.
And I can prove it too.
You gave me just one of your kisses, and that was when I knew
that I never was loved by anyone else until I was loved by you.
Oh, the Army and the Navy use their arms for victory. Like the Army and the Navy,
you use your arms to conquer me.
That's why I never was loved by anyone else until I was loved by you. I never was loved by anyone else, and I can prove it too. You gave me a sample of loving, anyone else.
I never was loved by anyone else.
Until I was loved by you.
Triumphs of engineering. Our next item concerns itself with the building of the Suez Canal. So let's clear the stage for Michael Bentine, the creator of Britain's leading scientist and engineer, the inventor of the ball toupee, the stringless violin for non-playing violinists, Captain Osric Pureheart.
Good evening.
Good evening, Captain. Glad to have you with us again.
Glad to have me with you, yes.
Now tell me, Captain, is it true that you built the Suez Canal?
Oh, yes, Mr. Milligan, yes, I built it. It took me a long, long time, though. First I had to get some permission from Cleopatra.
But the Cleopatra's been dead for 2,000 years.
I told you, it took me a long, long time.
Yes, I'm not doubting you, Captain, but for the benefit of the listeners, let's hear how you built the Suez Canal.
How you built the Suez Canal? Yes.
No, you.
Oh, me? Oh, well, it all started many, many years ago in the Houses of Parliament, where I was making my main speech to the House. And so, gentlemen, you see that all our ships have to sail right round Africa to get to India.
But can we travel over land?
We've tried that, but it ruined the bottoms of the ships.
You mean you've been dragging ships over land?
Oh, yes. I was on board one recently, and as we were dragging it across the Sahara Desert, it fell to bits.
But wasn't that dangerous?
Of course it was, but we managed to escape.
How?
In a lifeboat.
Lifeboats?
Well, I mean, we couldn't swim.
Swim? But you were in the Sahara.
I know. Ever heard of anyone trying to swim in the Sahara?
Touché. That's all very well, but has any honourable member got any ideas for a new route?
Don't worry about that. I have. You know that Africa and Asia are joined by a narrow strip of land?
Are they?
Yes, Mr. Prime Minister. Now, it is my intention to cut a canal right across that strip of land.
Oh, cut Africa off from Asia? Yes. Oh, but if you do that, Africa will float away.
Africa float away? I am a silly man, of course. I never thought of that.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
I'll nail it down with carpet tacks.
Oh, you're cleverer than I am. Come to think of it, anybody is.
Well, gentlemen, I shall call this canal the Suez. And Mr. Chancellor of the Exchequer, you are going to pay for the Suez. Suez.
All right, Frey. Just Mr. Disraeli, get the lorry.
A few months later, Pureheart arrived in Egypt, set up camp, and work began on the canal. Of course, there were certain obstacles to be overcome.
What do you want, fish fight? I sure am like him, Mr. Farouk. I'm building a canal, and I'm afraid it's going to run right through your house.
What? Do me a favour, yocky boy. You think I've been around downstairs and open the front door every time a ship wants to go through?
What? You silly old thing, you don't have to do that now. You can leave the key under the mat.
Low light. Take the notice, Captain. Just turn a deaf ear.
Well, it so happens I do have a deaf ear.
Really?
I found it on the floor of a barber shop in Acton.
Excuse me, Captain.
Yes, Mr. de Lesseps?
One of the workmen's just dug this out of the ground.
Let me see. Oh, great Scott! Most valuable. It's an ancient Egyptian urn. Oh, and look, there's an old manuscript tucked into the neck.
What does it say, Captain?
Well, in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, it says, Lars live 2 extra pints.
And what's that mean?
Please leave 2 extra pints. Well, let's proceed with the work. We've very nearly finished. Where is my super speed benzene excavator? Lardew?
Yes, sir, Genius.
Bring this. I say, Lardew, you're looking very, very young today. You never seem to get any older.
Well, Captain, you know what they say. A thing of beauty is a boy forever.
Yes. Well, get my super-speed excavator ready, will you?
Yes.
Now, gentlemen, this new excavator of mine will move 30 tons of earth in exactly 1 minute.
That's impossible.
That's impossible. No, not. I'll prove it. I'll time it you to the very, very exact second with my wristwatch. Ready? Go.
You know, Captain, that's possibly the strangest sounding excavator I've ever heard.
Excavator? That was my wristwatch.
Captain, this telegram just arrived from Mr. Disraeli.
Well, let me see. What? Oh, no. Oh, the stuff is ruination. All my work ruined. I resign.
Why, Captain?
After all that digging, you know, I mean, do you know what they want to do with my beautiful canal?
What?
Fill it with water.
That was Max Geldray, Holland's gift to British radio. In return, we're sending Sandy McPherson. Revenge is sweet. The BBC have presented many radio scrapbooks of years gone by and innumerable recordings of old historic broadcasts. But what of the future? The Goons have decided to look forward some 40 years or so and present a glimpse of broadcasting in the year 1999.
This is the BBC Home Service. Here is the news, and this is Citizen 7638-J reading it. Conservative and Socialist MPs made farewell speeches at Southampton Docks today when Mr. Jack Fields, the last British Liberal, was deported in chains.
An announcement from the Silverstone racetrack states that Mr. Charles Moss, great-great-grandson of Mr. Sterling Moss, is hopeful of a British victory this afternoon, if only the BRM will start.
The BBC Debating Society, which was founded in 1952, over 40 years ago, met last night for its usual weekly debate. The subject under discussion was, should Ted Ray retire?
Last night, radio's top quizmaster, Stuart McGeeman, was warned for the 38,000th time about being rude on television by the BBC's new Director General, Sir Gilbert Hardy.
So much for the news in 1999. But what of other programs? With transatlantic influence even stronger than it is now, will our programs in 40 years' time sound something like this?
This is the ACBBC, the American-controlled British Broadcasting Corporation. We present that dynamic drama, breathtaking epic, that vital, heart-rending story, that soul-stealing saga of human emotion.
Mrs. Dale's daughter. I'm worried about my husband, Jim. This morning at breakfast, I was covering my toast with a 16 layer of sludge, that vitamin spread with the extra rich golden flavor. When I looked up, I noticed Jim. I wasn't sure it was Jim. He looked so different.
And why did he look so different? Because Jim that morning had shaved with his new Bolo Hackenbacker hydrostatic electric razor. The razor with the bar lock safety precision angle.
Yes, I hardly recognized him. His face was so covered with blood.
But worse still, I noticed something that filled my veins with horror. He hadn't drunk his poofer milk.
You may laugh, ladies and gentlemen. You may not think that important, but let us bring you the case of a man who had never heard of poofer milk.
Yes, no, I'm a spread dog. I was an office clerk, but I never got promotion because I was always so tall and listless down the side. Finally, I decided to see a doctor. Hey, and you see that you're tired and listless during the day. You ever suffer from insomnia? Oh, no, it's just that I cannot sleep. What you need is poofer milk. So every night I prepared a steaming hot cup of poofer milk. There was only one trouble.
And what was that?
I couldn't drink the filthy stuff.
And so Fred Bogg got the sack and took a job as a billiard marker.
Yes, I always wanted to be a billiard marker, so now I'm quite happy.
Thinks to himself.
Thanks to poofer milk.
Well, you can see why I was worried. There was I sitting down to breakfast every morning with Jim and 14 advertising agents. For instance.
Dear?
Yes, Jim?
Could I have another slice of bread and butter?
Bread and butter? Come now, Mr. D. You mean Lurgy Loaf, the new whole meal vitamin loaf. Eat Lurgy Loaf and you will never grow another leg. Yes, I'm not better to go with it than Crunch, the luminous paint-resisting butter. The only butter that will take away the taste of that filthy Lurgy Loaf. Lurgy Loaf? Why, I've a good mind to knock you down with this jar of Slozo marmalade available in the 2-ton economy size at all grocers. What? I'll strangle you with this length of chocolate spaghetti. 3 shillings a pound, just pump in boiling water for fries and it's a bingo. Your suffer through it. Why you
Dear?
Yes, Jim?
Could I have that slice of bread and butter now?
Of course, Jim.
It was you who shot them, wasn't it, dear?
Yes, Jim. I shot them with my Jones and Schlesinger 32 handy pocket-sized automatic double-shot action pistol. Also available in large economy sizes that all...
Shut up.
What better to go with it than Zingo bullets? The only bullets get...
Shut up.
Use Zingo bullets and you'll never...
Shut up.
Thanks to poofer milk!
And now we present Ellington Quartet. I'll be coming back to boom, chicka bum 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 chicka bum bum bum. Boom. Why did my heart go boom? Me and my heart go boom, 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 'cause I found you. Boom. When you want here it's boom. I could see love in the bloom, boom, all around. Was it at 7 or 11 or cruising around the Pacific? I only know that I can't let you go. Your effect upon me is terrific. Boom, when we're bride and groom. Oh, won't my heart go boom, boom, 'cause I love you. That's it. Shrimp boats are coming. Oh, get you. To go your face for me is terrific. Boom, when we're a bride and groom. Oh, won't my heart go boom, boom, 'cause I love you. Love you, darling, j'abuse beaucoup. Je ne sais pas what to do.
bomb. Gonna kick a bomb, 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 bomb. Oh, she wants to live
We conclude the first of our new series with an adventure of that extraordinary creation of Peter Sellers, Major Bloodknock, in the quest for the abominable snowman. Yes, my name is Bloodknock, Major Bloodknock, late of the 1st Knitted Compliments. We were at Balaclava, you know, yes. I have a fine military record, Colonel Bogey on one side and Stars and Stripes on the other. At the time when the story starts, I had a nice little house on Clapham Common. One day my batsman Abdul Milligan rushed into my study in a state of great excitement.
Major Bloodknock! Major Sir! Major Bloodknock! Major Bloodknock! Major Sir! Major Bloodknock! Major Sir! Sir! Major Bloodknock! Major Bloodknock! Major Bloodknock!
Yes, I was out. However, Abdul knew that when I wasn't home, he could always find me at one of my old haunts, and sure enough, he did.
Major Bloodknock, so long the Rue Britannia, send the gunboat to rest.
Hello, Abdul. What is it?
Letter for you, sir.
Letter? Let's see.
Here, stop that visit. It ain't a last pass object to the prisoners.
Yes, Bloodknock was in jail. The news that he'd been sentenced to 6 months hard made me very sad. I had hoped he'd get life. On his release, he was welcomed home by his faithful butler, Ellington.
Oh, blimey, you again? Come in, Major, sit down.
Thank you, Ellington, thank you. That's better. Now, I'll take my boots off, will you?
Yes, Major. That's one. And that's the other.
Right. Now, don't let me catch you wearing my boots again. Now, go, now, where's the letter you had for me?
Here you are, sir.
Well, what does it say here? Dear Major Bloodknock, we would like you to take charge of the new weather stations on Mount Everest. We realize that you have no meteorological experience, but in these troubled times, we believe that you are the ideal type of Englishman to be sent abroad. Yours sincerely, the Metropolitan Police. Oh. Mount Everest, where's that?
Oh, that's India.
Is it dear?
Yes, dear.
Oh. We're talking about India. Let's have a look at the map. I hope you're right.
What, sir?
There is a place called India. Forward! A few months later, found the Major and his team of incompetents in a little weather station on the slopes of Mount Everest. Oh, now, Secombe. Let's check the instruments. How's the wind gauge working?
Perfectly, sir.
Is the barometer okay?
Yes, sir.
How's the weather cup?
Pretty cold, mate.
Now, Captain Pureheart. Ah, yes? Climb down to the base camp at the bottom of the mountain and see if they've got any supplies.
Right, sir.
Have you any supplies down there?
Oh, I lots of them. Thank you.
Well, did they have any supplies?
Yes.
Oh, we'll see if they've got any milk, will you?
Right, sir.
Any milk?
Yes.
Thank you. Well? Yes. Oh. Well, ask me if I can have any. Right, sir. Well, can we have any?
No.
Thank you.
What the devil's all that noise? It's not me, sir. It's that blasted orchestra that keeps following me.
Make blood now! Make blood now! Ellington, what is it? You look beige with fright.
The Tibetan porter say there's a huge hairy monster that roams the camp at night.
Gentlemen, I can't keep the truth from you any longer. That is the abominable snowman.
The abominable snowman? But the Tibetans call him the Lahu Magmag Chowdok Yala Maya Pupu Naku Bosco Belongu Zatsu Batsu.
And what does that mean?
The abominable snowman. Stop. The porters told me they've seen him.
Seen who?
The abominable snowman. He's 12 miles from here on the other side of the mountain, right?
What? Splendid. Now, who'll go and capture him, eh? Well, Ellington, Secombe, Milligan, Bentine. Oh, come on, all of you. It's only 12 miles away. Are you coming or aren't you? All right, you lousy yellow-livered cowards. I'll go myself. Give me my gun. 12 miles, eh? Goodbye, you cowards. He got away. Well, I'll get him tomorrow.
And got him they did. They nailed the abominable snowman in a specially constructed box and flew it back to London. There, before a distinguished gathering of anthropologists, zoologists, and Mrs. Braddock, Bloodknot opened the box.
Thank you, gentlemen, thank you. And now, gentlemen, comes my proudest moment. I shall open the box and show you the result of 3 years' research and hardship in the frozen Himalayas. The first of its species ever to be brought back alive. The abominable snowman. There. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the...
What is it, Major?
The abominable snowman.
What's happened?
He's melted.
You've been listening to The Goon Show, recorded program featuring Peter Sellers, Harry Secombe, Michael Bentine, and Spike Milligan, with the Ellington Quartet, Max Geldray, and the Stargate. The BBC Dance Orchestra was conducted by Stanley Black. The script was written by Spike Milligan and Mary Stevens and edited by Jimmy Ross. The program was produced by Dennis Fair Wilson.